or a 15th-year guy can be tricky. This is a tough environment in which to play. Jared Reeser will kick off. Tylen Hines, a great returner, will watch it bounce over his head. And away we go from the islands. And let's start with the Rainbow Warriors. Hawaii at 2-3, 0-1 with that loss at San Diego State. Shager, though, at San Diego State was brilliant. 3 touchdowns, 272 yards.
He really was, Rich, and he really put the team on his shoulders, especially in the second half, doing it with his arm, doing it with his legs. And, you know, you can expect a lot of that tonight, right? This is a kid that is fearless, a physical quarterback, and he's going to, you know, have to make the plays tonight in order to give this team a chance to win.
This is a run-and-shoot offense, which means you're going to have multiple wide receivers. They have 5 on 1st and 10. And it's the same offense that Timmy Chang ran with June Jones so successfully. That is volleyballed up and around and incomplete. Jonah Pinoque was the wide receiver. He was looking right up into the sun as he had that ball coming at him. Offensively, Pofele Ashlock is the favorite target for Braden Shager. He has 40 catches already.
Yeah, when they get in third down situations, red zone, when they need a play, that's the guy Braden Shager is going to be looking for.
So 2nd down and 10. The sun on this near side of the field, if you're looking back to the center of the field, is a problem probably for the first quarter and a half. No problem there, although that one bounces out of the hands of Alex Perry, and it's incomplete. Broncos defensively. Up front, Ahmed Hassanin is terrific, the senior defensive end.
Leading the league, the Mountain West right now in sacks, had 12.5 sacks last season, and he'll be playing at the next level, no doubt about it.
So Shager's hit 2 receivers in the hands, and it's 3rd down and 10. Has time against that Boise pass rush, fires over the middle, and it's caught there and then dropped. Nick Senecal couldn't hold it. A flag is down back in the backfield, and Shager may have been hit late. My goodness, 3 drops in the first 3 plays.
Offense, number 66. That penalty is declined. It's 4th down.
Things could not have gone any worse for Hawaii in that first sequence.
You know, one of the things that Timmy Chang talked about that he was a little bit disappointed in his team was the drop passes. Last week against San Diego State, 6 drop passes in that football game. They've had struggles with the football so far this season as we look at the holding penalty there in the backfield. But, you know, these receivers are going to have to make plays for Braden. He can't do everything if they want to beat Boise today.
Cooper Jones is deep, and Jones fields it, sidesteps one, up the sideline, spun out there, and the Broncos will get the football right at the 35-yard line on a 40-yard punt from Hawaii. Maddox Madsen leads the Mountain West in quarterback efficiency, and last week he was just 21 of 25. 256 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's efficient in the win over Utah State.
Yeah, and the great thing about Madden is this. He spreads the football around, right? 10 different receivers caught a pass last week against Utah State. So he's one of those guys that's going to take what the defense gives him. He's going to make smart plays. He doesn't turn the football over, and that's what makes him such a good quarterback.
Broncos offensively, scoring-wise, are the best in the country. They're averaging over 50 points a game. There is a injured player right now over on the Hawaii sideline. With Chang standing and the training staff kneeling.
There's an injury. We might need it.
Watch number 1, Black. And he stays down. And we'll take a timeout. Scoreless here. Hawaii had the first possession. Boise State ready for their first possession. Peter Manuma, the fine corner for the Hawaii Rainbows, is the player that is down on the sideline. We showed the replay. He made the initial hit on that return by Cooper Jones of Boise State. Started to get up and then went down. The training staff was there immediately. And Manuma is up.
Looked like he dropped his head on the tackle. It's always dangerous there when you get your head in it. That's why when you get taught to tackle, you want to keep your head up. Look at this right here, Rich. See how his head's kind of down, kind of hits him with the top of his helmet right there.
And he's a veteran tackler, Robert. He led the team in tackles last year, had 87 of them, 60 solo. So the first touch for Boise State, the first touch for JEANTY, and he burst through the backfield into Hawaii territory. We'll see where they mark him. It's going to be actually just shy of the 50, but Ashton JEANTY is in the house and already 13 yards on the first carry.
Just patient. Sees a crease right there in the middle of the defense and bursts through for a nice start to the drive for Boise State.
And he's playing behind a defense or an offensive line that's been banged up. They're missing Mason Randolph, Roger Carrion, their center and their right guard. And that one is going to be just a yard as Matangi Thompson gets in there to make the hit. So 2 touches for JEANTY already. This offense for Boise State, we focused on JEANTY, we talked about Madsen, but Cameron Camper on the outside is starting to come around for a wide receiving group that's been banged up somewhat.
Yeah, they're wanting to open up this passing game a bit, and the wide receivers have had, some injuries really since training camp, and it'll be a big part of their offense in today's game plan, getting the pass game going.
2nd down and 9. That's Camper in motion. JEANTY again trying to bounce outside. Hawaii got a hat on him. He's going to get to the 46-yard line, but that's exactly what Dennis Thurman and his Hawaii defense want to do. They just want to contain JEANTY and not give up the 50, 60-yard runs. Logan Taylor is probably their best tackler right now out of the linebacker spot.
Yeah, number 16, their unquestioned leader on defense. Coach Thurman made the joke. You can hear Taylor before you see him. His vocal leadership is unquestioned.
All right, you got 3rd down and 5 now. Little play action. Madsen, little pump fake, fires it down the sideline, and it's caught there. It's Camper, and he's down to the 13-yard line. On target is Maddox Madsen, and Camper went up and made the grab.
How about Cameron Camper, 6'3", 197 pounds, showing off the speed and the athleticism to get the ball at its highest point. He's one of the playmakers now at this wide receiver spot that they want to continue to get the ball more.
Transfer from Indiana when he arrived. He fit right in. That was a 32-yard gain. And JEANTY straight up the gut. Elijah Robinson made the first hit. He's down to about the 12-yard line.
So defensively, Rich, it's interesting. It's going to be about the discipline, for these linebackers and defensive line. They feel like, they can make some plays against the run game, but when the big runs happen, it's likely because somebody was out of their gap, right? So the discipline is going to be important tonight.
2nd and 7. JEANTY in the backfield. Madsen, lots of time. Looking, hit, and dropped. Deion Washington for Hawaii, and that's going to lose a couple yards, and this is going to be 3rd down and about 9.
This is a really nice job by the secondary, and really Madsen's in the pocket. He's looking. There's nobody open, which gives the defensive line then time to be able to get into the backfield for the sack. There he is. He's got plenty of time right now, but the coverage really solid for Hawaii in the secondary, and then gets the sack. A nice play there by the Rainbow Warriors.
Now 3rd down and 9. JEANTY. He's going to be short of the 1st down. You can hear the crowd reacting. They've seen all the highlights. They know that JEANTY is averaging 11 yards per carry, by far the best in the country. And on this drive, he had the first big run, but after that, Hawaii contained him, and Jonah Dalmas in the field goal unit coming on.
Yeah, I thought Boise State there were thinking about going for it to start this football game, but they know the challenge to come to Hawaii, the long travel and everything like that, to be able to win in this stadium. Smart to get the points in this situation.
Yeah, Jonah Dalmas, one of the great field goal kickers, maybe the greatest in Boise State history, certainly in the Mountain West as well. And he knocks it through. Boise State on the board first. They settle for 3, and a 3-0 start for the number 17 for the many quarterbacks that came out of St. Louis to have great college, and many of them have had great NFL careers. All right, Hawaii's Tylen Hines gets blasted at the 19-yard line. And Timmy Chang, when he was at Nevada, was a wide receivers coach. So he may have had a few words for his wide receivers after that first 3 downs. 3 very catchable balls flat out dropped. Shager put them on the money, all 3 of them.
Yeah, they can't have that if they want to have an opportunity to win this game. I'm sure Timmy Chang let them know how he was feeling there on the sideline after that first drive. But, you know, these wide receivers are going to have to make plays for Braden to give them the best shot tonight.
Shager can do that. Last year led the Mountain West in yardage. And Shager busted up the sideline across midfield, and a big run there. Andrew Tubner caught him. He can run. He's an athletic quarterback, 6'3", 220. There is a flag down. And Hawaii seems to be marching backwards. It was a 38-yard run, and it's all coming back. Patrick Foy.
During the run, holding on the offense, number 0. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
So it's still a first down. It's a spot of foul marking.
This is Alex Perry. You're going to see at the top of your screen. And he's doing a good job, but right there, just got to let go of the shoulder. So that's what the referee saw, didn't throw the flag.
That's 4 huge mistakes by wide receivers in 4 snaps.
You mentioned Coach Chang coaching wide receivers at Nevada. Romeo Doubs now with the Green Bay Packers. Elijah Cooks also with the NFL.
Had Torrey Horton there as well.
Absolutely.
So Shager to the air and to the sideline, and it's caught there. Nick Senecal. So there's the first completion, and this is how Hawaii moves the ball. They play with the run and shoot. Devised, June Jones, of course, was a guy that was at the front. Mouse Davis originally, long ago, at small Portland State. Chang ran it. Colt Brennan ran it. Nick Rolovich ran it as quarterback and as a coach. And Shager again, and he's hit and popped short of the first down. Tubner and Oladipo made the hit, and let's see where they mark it.
Shager looked like got a little shaken up on that play. See him bending over.
See the numbers that he's amassed, and he hasn't had the best. I mean, look, he's been part of a rebuild, so didn't have the best cast around him. They do have a nice receiver room and an offensive line that's been pretty good. As we said, this is the best team that Timmy Chang has had in year 3. Boise, #1 sack team in the country, and they get to Shager. And Braxton Feely gets a hand on the throw. And the decision here, if you're Hawaii, it's 4th and 2. You don't want to keep giving the football to Ashton Jeanty in the offense of Boise State, but Timmy Chang got the punt unit coming on.
This is a wise choice to punt this football, Rich, because you're in your own territory right now, and if you don't convert this, I mean, Boise State's putting up 50 points a game, so you don't want to give them the advantage of a short field here.
Fair catch called for and made at the 19. First touch, Boise State. Got close, ended up with a field goal. Their second possession for number 17. Boise State on a gorgeous night. Been a while since Boise State has been here on the islands. This was a COVID year. There was nobody in the house. It was the last season of Aloha Stadium, and it was the Khalil Shakir show. Now with the Buffalo Bills, then obviously with the Boise State Broncos. 11 catches, 130 yards. Andrew Van Buren went for 113 yards. Broncos won it 40-32. That stadium would be condemned before the following season, which forced Hawaii to move on campus. As this series picks up, Boise State heavily in the lead. They've won 15 of 18, 5-0 in the Mountain West against Hawaii. Second possession, Boise State, Maddox Madsen, Ashton JEANTY. And JEANTY busts across the 25, out to the 27. If you're just joining us, JEANTY is one of the leaders in the Heisman, not voting, but I guess dialogue and chatter and noise, and with good reason. His numbers are just astounding. 11 yards per carry, 206 yards per game. He's run for over 1,000 yards on just 95 carries.
Nobody's gotten to 1,000 yards quicker than Ashton JEANTY. He's been spectacular all season long, Rich, and you'll see a heavy dose of him tonight.
And well over 600 of his yards. Ball's on the floor, and I think Boise State has it. A lot of his yards come after contact. That fumble came after contact, but it was Madsen who scooped it up. There is a flag down. The run would have been good enough and recovery.
Holding. Offense, number 65. 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
For a first down, but it's all coming back.
That's right tackle Hall Schmidt, one of the anchors of this offensive line. Says he listens to Frank Sinatra and Etta James before games.
That's right up
About
here.
that to get pumped up.
That's right up your alley. When you're sitting having a nice crevassier and a smoking jacket late at night. You got Etta James on, don't you? Second down and 11. JEANTY in the pattern. This one goes to Cameron Camper, and the Indiana transfer is out close to the first down, about the 28-yard line. Cam Stone made the stop. This is a really good offensive line. I told you they're missing their center, Mason Randolph, their right guard, Roger Carrion. But Cage Casey, Ben Dooley on the left side, Holmes at the center spot, Kyneth at right guard, Hall Schmidt at the right tackle. That first unit has allowed 1 sack coming into this game.
And Dirk Cutter, the offensive coordinator, talked about how proud he was of this offensive line. I mean, Rudolph and Carrion, both NFL-type offensive linemen, not being available, and they're still able to get it done.
3rd and 1. This is a layup for JEANTY, and he's across the 30, out to the 31. Tariq Jones made the stop. The defensive coordinator for Hawaii is a great USC legend, Dennis Thurman, terrific defensive back at USC, was their MVP, 2-time All-American, went on to play in the NFL for 9 years, 8 with the Cowboys, longtime defensive coordinator, and he has really turned this defensive unit around. They're number 1 in the Mountain West in total yards, giving up 2nd in rushing, 2nd in passing defense. Madsen under pressure, overthrows his tight end. Matt Lauder was the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down and 10. And there's a flag down, and Hawaii may have hit Madsen late.
Yeah, I think they're going to get rough in the passer here. Just got to watch out for that head and neck area.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense from the 52 with high contact. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
So that's Ezra Evaimalo. You see him right there, just kind of launch.
So
that's a clear roughing the passer penalty right there.
That almost looked more targeting than roughing, because he was within the step. But anytime you hit the quarterback high, this was somewhat of a.
The previous play is under review for potential targeting.
Yeah.
And that's not a surprise. This is very similar to the Syracuse UNLV play, which was a pivotal play at the end where they called both roughing and targeting. They reviewed, took off the targeting, left the roughing, and it really cost UNLV in that case. And there was some discussion about it wasn't roughing, but it was originally targeting.
So it looks like she's trying to jump up and tip the ball, but
he launched, and it was crown of helmet, it looked like, or a face mask to the head of the quarterback.
And that's what the referees are going to have to decipher here. You know, is it crown of helmet, or is it the front of the face mask there? Crown of helmet obviously is going to lead to targeting.
Evamalo, the sophomore, is the leader of this defense. They've already lost Manuma, and now Evamalo is in danger, if this is targeting, of exiting early here.
Well, let me tell you how impactful he is, Rich. He's third in all of college football in run defense as far as grade. He's 90% as far as his grade, as far as stopping the run and being a run defender. So you're going up against Ashton Jeanty. You're going to need your guys in the middle there to be able to clog up those gaps.
After review, there is targeting on the play. Number 52 of the defense has been disqualified.
You can't hit a defenseless player, and a quarterback, when he releases, is defenseless. Had he hit lower, there would be no flag because there was no roughing. It was targeting. Well, they did call roughing, right?
They did.
And then they went to targeting. All right, so I don't know. It's obviously targeting. I don't know that it's roughing, but it is impactful. He's ejected, and it's a huge penalty. And Hawaii has come out and made a ton of mistakes. Offensively, they've dropped footballs when open, and now here, Evamalo is ejected for targeting. And of course, it's a first down, and the ball's out close to midfield. Jeanty bounces outside, has a seam. Ashton Jeanty, he's 10, he's touchdown, Boise State. 54 yards. You make a mistake, he makes you pay.
And right away, you recognize the impact of not having your best defensive lineman in the game. They run the football right to that right side where Evamalo plays, gets to the crease, bounces to the outside, stiffs arm the defender, and he's off to the races. One of the fastest running backs in all of college football. And, you know, Rich, it doesn't take Ashton Jeanty very long to get going in football games.
93 yards, 8 carries already. And he's right at his average, 11.6 yards per carry. And the Broncos, Hawaii, a big mistake. The Broncos, a big play. Ashton Jeanty, for you staying up late, what a treat. The Heisman hopeful. Ashton Jeanty is close to 100 yards on just 8 carries. And number 17, Boise State, off to a strong start here. Remember, the targeting play kept the drive going and allowed Jeanty to get rolling. 12 plays of 50 or more. And Jeanty himself now has, what, 5 plays of 50 or more this year?
Absolutely, yeah, he does. And it doesn't take him long to get going, like I mentioned, Rich.
Excuse me, 7.
Yeah, 7. 7 50-yard runs or more to the house. And, I mean, think about this. 2 games ago against Washington State, he takes a 64-yarder to the crib just 3 minutes into the game. And then first play of the game against Utah State last week to the house, 63-yarder.
That's quick. CBS Sports Network, AVP Beach Volleyball. Some of the best duos in the country leave it on the sand tomorrow at 3 Eastern. They actually have a beach volleyball stadium here tucked away in the corner from this on-campus facility. So Hawaii needs to straighten up and fly right here. Receivers have been dropping balls. A key holding call on Alex Perry, another wide receiver on that last drive, short-circuited their offense. And they'll run it for the first time. Cam Barfield. And he's going to lose 4 yards.
And this defense, Rich, very calculated. They want to bring pressure. They don't bring pressure all the time, but once they sort of feel like they are starting to have the advantage and they get a lead early in games, you'll start to see Boise State blitz a lot more.
Max Stiege, the German, the sophomore who's been really good for them, made that last stop. 2nd and 13, and Shager hits Perry with the catch, and he's hit out to 27. Let's see where they mark it. This will bring up a 3rd down and probably 8.
Yeah, so these receivers can make plays, Rich. I mean, they are a good receiving group. It's just about the discipline, and it's just about being consistent. If they can be consistent, boy, this team could be different as far as their overall record so far this season.
Remember what Timmy Chang told us yesterday. If we're going to beat Boise State, we have to clean up all the little things. And they are far from that in this one. That may be a 5-yard gain on this flag.
Offense.
No, it's going backwards.
5-yard penalty. Third down.
And just another example right there, right? They finally get something going. They get a catch. They're in a third and manageable situation. Boom, a false start penalty pushes them back 5 yards. Now they're behind the sticks in a third and long situation, putting all the pressure again on Braden Shager.
So it's 3rd down and 12 now. Tylen Hines, who they will throw to, is in the backfield with Shager. Broncos look like they're going to bring pressure, and they rush 4. Shager has to step through 1, fires it over the middle, and Senecal down, and a diving catch, and Hawaii has a 1st down. They move the sticks.
And this is one of the areas where Shager's really improved, navigating the pocket, avoiding pressure. Nice job by Senecal getting his hands under the football right there, avoiding it then to hit the ground. It's a nice catch by Nick Senecal.
Quick pop to Ashlock. And Ashlock runs into Devon Banks of Boise State. Banks is a junior. This is a really good defensive backfield, and traditionally the Broncos have had really good defensive backs.
Yeah, they tried to set up a quick screen that time to Ashlock. Kaena DeCamber, the left tackle, number 78, couldn't get out there in time. Nice play there by the Bronco defense.
Shager hit as he throws, fires it middle, caught there. Ashlock tumbling down at the 26.
A rare miscommunication by Boise State in the secondary. Braden Shager taking a hit in the pocket and still delivering an accurate football to Pofele Ashlock. We know that they have a special connection. They train together in Dallas in the offseason. They're also roommates. And a nice big play there to get a 1st down.
Boise State leads the nation in sacks, but they have given up some long passes this year. On the ground, and a gain, maybe a couple. Tylen Hines getting the carry. Michael Callahan makes the stop for this Bronco defense.
Tylen Hines, a elusive runner, was a former wide receiver, actually played wide receiver all year last year. Decided to put him back into the backfield as a running back, and he can do all the things. Running between the tackles outside is where they really like to use him. Get him in space.
Landon Sims comes in, and you have to block if you're a running back in the run and shoot. You're essentially the 6th offensive lineman in a lot of situations. Shager, rush, escapes, 20, down with a slide at the 16-yard line, and Hawaii is moving, and it's their senior quarterback that's leading the way.
So Landon Sims comes in for Tylen Hines. Why? Because he's their best pass protecting running back. So he gets in the backfield, they blitz. Great job by Landon Sims getting the pass protection. Good coverage down the field. So Shager then decides to take it himself. And how about the slide, Rich? Somebody's been in his ear about playing the game a little bit safer. Nice job by Braden Shager.
And that's Sims down to the 15. Jaden Version Morgan made the stop for the Broncos. Well, Shager is out of Dallas, Highland Park High School, and of course a lot of big names that have come out of there. Clayton Kershaw, Matthew Stafford, Scotty Scheffler. There's a long line of pros in many sports. In the Verizon red zone is Hawaii. 10 of 16 touchdowns. That's been an issue for them. Senecal on a quick pop, and this is going to be 3rd down now and a long 6. And here's, we just showed you the red zone stats. 16 trips, they're 15 of 16. That's great, but had they been able to convert a couple more touchdowns in the red zone, they're 10 of 16. They probably would be 4-1. instead of 2 and 3. They would have beaten UCLA here. They would have beaten San Diego State on the road. 3rd and 7. Broncos showing heat. Here they come. Shager flushed, in trouble, bounces, and goes down at the 23. Virgin Morgan tossed him to the turf. There were others around him, but this is going to bring the football all the way back out to the 22. A mistake-filled first for Timmy Chang and Hawaii. Number 17 in the country, Boise State on the roads. Variato, Jenkins, Huff. Kansei Matsuzawa, a Japanese field goal kicker who spoke no English when he got to the United States in junior college in Ohio, learned English, learned how to kick watching YouTube, and he's had a nice year, although this one is no good. So this run of mistakes by Hawaii continues. Drop passes, holding calls, wiping out big plays, targeting the Boise State quarterback, and now missing a field goal. It's the number 17 team in the country. It's Boise State, who's putting up over 50 points a game to lead the country. You just can't keep doing this if you're Hawaii.
Matsuzawa came into the season actually in a kicking competition and looked like a clean operation, just couldn't execute. And playing a team like Boise State, man, points are at a premium.
All right, if you're just joining us, Ashton Jeanty is close to 100 yards. Play action, Madsen can throw it, and he does, and Camper is there for the catch. And the Broncos move the sticks. That's another 14-yard gain. Cam Stone on the coverage.
So very early, you know, we talked about, you know, hey, you know, Madsen coming into this football game, who's some of the other highlight players on this offense outside of Ashton Jeanty, and we mentioned number 9, Cameron Camper, and you recognize early in this football game, he's been his favorite target.
Dirk Cutter, the offensive coordinator, quick throw there, caught Prince Strawn, and Strawn holds on. He's knocked out of bounds, short of the first down by Stone. Dirk Cutter, of course, the longtime Boise guy in terms of his connection to the program. Was a head coach initially, then went on to the NFL, was a head coach in the NFL, was kind of the emergency OC a couple of years ago. Spencer Danielson dogged him for a couple of weeks and asked him, he just told him, hey, I couldn't find the offensive coordinator I want you now. Jeanty is caught, and a rare loss of yardage as Deion Washington got to him first.
Don't underestimate this Hawaii defense now. The past 2 weeks, they've played some really good running backs. All right, Northern Iowa had a running back who averaged 115 yards a game, and they held him to 39 yards in that football game. Held Marquez Cooper to under 3 yards per carry in that matchup last week. So this is a good defense that can defend the run.
You got 3rd down and 8 here. Madsen throwing, got a man, caught there. That's Camper again, the go-to guy, and he's into Hawaii territory. And I'll tell you what, Jeanty certainly is the headliner, but Maddox Madsen is a terrific quarterback.
Well, it's all about his accuracy in the pocket and his decision-making as well. 10 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. Smart with the football, doesn't turn it over.
Broncos on the ground there to the 41-yard line. The running back room is pretty thin in this game. Sire Gaines, a nice freshman, is out. Jambreeze Dubar is questionable. Dylan Riley is a guy you're going to see back there probably, and maybe a little Tyler Crow, who does just about everything else for Boise State. So far, it's been Jeanty. Madsen, little throw there. That's Louder, the tight end, and he escapes for a gain of almost 10. Jemai Otis made the stop for Hawaii.
And Dirk Cutter loves these tight ends. I mean, the one thing that they have in common that they can all do very well is block. But they've also got really good hands as well, being able to run routes. Matt Louder, 2 touchdowns against Washington State a couple weeks ago, but he was more upset about some of the blocking mistakes that he had in that football game. A team defensive-oriented group right here.
Madsen time, deep shot here. That's Austin Bolts, and it bounces away. There's no flag. The coverage by Cam Stone. Well covered by the senior, the transfer from Wyoming.
Yeah, Cam Stone is the top covering corner on this defense, and oftentimes you'll see him guard the best receiver from the other team, but may have got away with a little bit of hands right there, but I thought overall clean coverage.
First incompletion for Madsen in this ball game. He's 6 of 7. Broncos in Hawaii territory and already a 10-0 lead. JEANTY right side, and JEANTY stood up. The impressive thing, he gets so many yards after carry. Well over 600 of his yards have been after contact, right? That's not happening against Hawaii here. When he's hit, Hawaii's getting more than one body on him and getting him down, aside from the 2 that he's broken.
Well, Coach Dennis Thurman, defensive coordinator for Hawaii, emphasized group tackling. And the important piece to getting JEANTY down was going to be about that first guy. First guy's got to get him to stop his feet. The other guys have got to get there and rally.
JEANTY plows ahead, and he's got the first down. Ashton JEANTY, 5'9", 210 pounds, Jacksonville, Florida, and of course a transfer from Texas. Dirk Cutter was asked, who does he remind you of? And he went with Maurice Jones-Drew with a little bit of Fred Taylor mixed in. You buy that?
I don't know about the Fred Taylor part of it, but the one thing Fred Taylor could do was get in and out of his jump cuts, and that's something that Ashton JEANTY does really well.
And that's exactly what Dirk referenced, was that jump cut. So Dylan Riley comes in for his first carry. It's fun to do this game with you. You, a terrific running back at Utah State, and then an NFL running back. You went to 2 Super Bowls, won one of them with the Seahawks. So to get an NFL running back and someone so current in that sport, in that position, to get eyes on JEANTY is fun for me.
It's fun for me too, Rich. I mean, I've had an opportunity to watch JEANTY in person, and right away, I mean, I watched him in his warm-ups. Right away, you could see, you know, the impact that he has on his team and why he's such a great player.
Madsen steps up, fires, dive, and no catch. Caples almost had it.
Caples, a fantastic player for this Boise State offense. Dealt with some injuries last June, actually, towards Achilles, and took him a little while to get back, but he's become a fantastic leader for this football team, and just couldn't hold on to the football right there to get that touchdown.
They're down 8. Madsen so good in the pocket, and he escapes the pocket here. Gets to the 15. He's short of the first down by 3 yards. Jalen Smith made the stop. And the Broncos settle for a field goal, or with a 10-0 lead, they go for it on 4th down and about 3.
Well, when they had the 4th down situation on their first possession, Rich, I thought, hey, maybe Danielson would get a little aggressive and go for it. Wanted to take the points and take the safe bet. I think right here it's a good decision to go for it here on 4th down. Don't be surprised right here they give the ball to Ashton JEANTY.
JEANTY back in the ball game. Caples in motion. Gonna throw it. Madsen fires, caught. That's Louder, and he's got the first down by a couple of yards. That's a nice throw. Louder has been a big target. He's closing in on 20 catches this year.
Boy, that was a great catch by Louder, but watch Cameron Camper come open. He's gonna want this one back. Cameron Camper came open in the middle of the defense just as he was throwing the football to Matt Louder, but how about the one-hander there by the tight end getting the first down?
Broncos can get a first down just outside the 1. Bolt in motion. And JEANTY hit there by Stone with some help from Wyndon Hohohuli. That's a gain of about 4. Here's what you were looking at.
So he's in the pocket, he's looking, and look at Camper standing right there in the middle of your screen at the end zone, wide open. Boy, when Madsen sees that one on film, he's going to want that one back.
Second down 7. Madsen again. Flushed. Hit. Fires. End zone. Is it caught? Yeah, I believe so. The officials are still not in agreement, and 4 of them huddle. Broncos say touchdown. Hawaii says no, it's a touchdown. And it's Camper and an 8-yard throw. Boy, Cameron Camper is just exploding right now.
Well, he missed him on the fourth down play, but he was going to ensure that he didn't miss him here. Let's see if it hits the ground at all.
Ooh,
that's going to come back.
That is.
That's going to come back.
That's going to be reviewed. You can hear the crowd just saw the review up on the scoreboard.
That's going to come back right there. That ball clearly hits the ground.
I mean, this may be a makeshift stadium, but they do have a nice video board, as you've just learned. Yeah, that looked like the ball hit the turf as he was making the catch. And so now Spencer Danielson will have to wait, see the bottom of the ball going onto the turf before it's secure. What do you see?
That nose of the football hits the ground right as Cameron Camper was trying to get his hands underneath. So clearly to me, this is an incomplete pass.
And I should note that the video board they have here was actually brought over from Aloha Stadium, which was condemned back after the 2020 season. Not the video board, but the stadium. And it's still standing, which boggles the mind, because they do have plans to build a new Aloha Stadium, but every year it gets pushed further and further out. Right now, 2028 is the target date.
Well,
but it's still, the Aloha Stadium is still standing out there. They've got to take that down before they even start to build the new one. And there's the board. It made it out here.
Right. And I've got some fond memories, Rich, playing
After review, is an incomplete pass. It'll be third down at the 7.5-yard line.
So there's the call. But yeah, I've got some fond memories playing at Aloha Stadium. It's a very memorable game, 2011. We come back, we're down 24-7 in that football game and a half. Rich, come back and win that game and get ourselves to a bowl game for the first time in 30 years. Third down situation here for Boise State. I don't think you run the football here with Ashton JEANTY, but Cameron Camper has found a way to get open early in this football game, and him and Madsen have gotten a good connection to start off this ball game. I look for him to look for number 9 here in this situation.
According to his offensive coordinator, Dirk Cutter, JEANTY is a good receiver and runs good routes. They just don't throw it to him often. They'll hand it to him here. And he is spilled down at the 5. Elijah Robinson made the stop, gain of 3. That's not nearly enough. And the field goal unit, led by Jonah Dalmas, is back out.
Well, you can't argue with giving it to your best player and seeing if he can make a play. He's converted on a couple third downs already in this football game. And right there, who wouldn't trust Ashton JEANTY with the football in a third down situation?
23 yards here. Dalmas has made 86 of these in his Boise State career, and he knocks that one through.
The kick is good. Timeout on the field.
So Hawaii limits and maybe to some extent JEANTY's Heisman hopes are hinged a little bit on Oregon's success. Remember, the Broncos went to Eugene, outplayed the Ducks, but 2 returns, a kickoff return, a punt return, and then a last-second field goal. That is how Oregon beat Boise State. The back judge is down right now. And this is not where that last play was. The back judge, this is all the way on the other side of the field. Gregory Rattler Jr. is the back judge. And the Bronco trainers, that's the Boise State sideline, are taking a look at him. We take for granted these guys, the officials who are in the middle of all of this chaos, who have to at times sprint down the sideline to make a call.
I mean, we talked to Coach Danielson, you know, just about this Hawaii trip overall. You know, the players, the 6-hour flight, and you know, things of that nature. And it's the same for the refs. You know, hydration and all the things are just as important for everybody who's involved in the game.
There's a look. That's a pretty good look at what, you know, this was a track stadium essentially when Hawaii found out they had 6 months to come up with a place to play. There's no, on this island, there was no other place to play once Aloha Stadium was condemned.
Yeah.
So that first year they threw together some stands. The attendance wasn't full because it was coming off the COVID year. And they've added seats, they've added the scoreboard, they've added stuff as they go. And quite honestly, this site is probably plan B. If they can't get it together, whoever's trying to build Aloha Stadium, this is the site where I would expect they'd probably say, this is plan B. Let's just build something right here, right on campus.
Yeah, they'll look to expand this, you know, this stadium here that they've been playing in since leaving Aloha. And you know, this is not, I mean, this is a nice stadium. I mean, we've been here a couple times, and I hadn't played here, obviously. I played at Aloha, but you know, that seems to be sort of the strategy for Hawaii moving forward.
Timmy Chang, you know, you can look at this two ways. You can look at it like Boise State is up 13-0, but I think Hawaii has to feel at least a little bit better that they're down just 13-0 with all the mistakes they've made, right? I mean, this very easily could be 21-0.
Nope, no doubt about it. I mean, this defense, Dennis Thurman has this defense playing at a really high level this season. I mean, we talked about the numbers, but that's the reason why they're still in this football game.
All right, we're going to step aside as they continue to give medical
Trucks built to serve, and by Rogue. Don't weaken.
Last game of the night in college football. Number 17, Boise State on the road and on top 13-0. The back judge, Gregory Rattler Jr., has been down and is being tended to by the Boise State team physician, Dr. Andrew Curran. He had doubled over and appeared to have trouble, what looked like breathing, but obviously the medical staff for Boise State is there. All the rest of the officials are there as well. Rich Waltz and Robert Turbin here in a Mountain West matchup. Timmy Chang and Hawaii came out firing as they do in the run and shoot, and his wide receivers dropped the first 3 passes to him. Boise State took advantage of that. Hawaii had a targeting roughing the passer penalty that kept a drive alive, and Ashton JEANTY then bolted for 54 yards for a touchdown.
Play. Yeah, very next play.
But Dennis Thurman's defense, as you noted, for Hawaii has really played well, and they've limited Boise to 2 field goals here.
You know, this game could have gotten out of hand, you know, pretty quickly, but Dennis Thurman and his defense has, you know, really done the work.
And we should know we do not have a sideline announcer here in Honolulu, so we are at the mercy of the sports information departments for both Hawaii and Boise State, both very good sports information departments, by the way.
What we know now is back judge was having some trouble breathing. And that's really the only update that we have.
You can see him in there moving right now. And this is a look, you talked about the challenges for Spencer Danielson and Boise State, traveling here, humidity and all that. This is challenging for the officials to come into this environment as well. It's been humid and warm, especially at the start of the game. There is an ambulance arriving on the scene.
So in this situation as a player, you know, this is where your leaders and really your strength and conditioning coach is really impactful in this situation, keeping the guys loose. You know, you see Braden Shager, he's on the sideline right now throwing the football, trying to keep his arm loose. moving around, moving your feet, things of that nature, so you can stay a little bit locked into the game.
The one report we have from the field is that our back judge, Gregory Rattler Jr., is alert, and they will take him to a nearby hospital for observation. And we'll return to Honolulu after this.
Right here.
Come in for observation, and he's on his feet, and he said no to the stretcher, which I think is a pretty good sign. Moving on his own, got the blood pressure cuff on, and he says, I'm walking in there. I'm not going in on the stretcher. And so he'll head for observation. We'll give you an update. We appreciate the folks down on the sideline giving us information as to his status. It's a live look.
You know, referees, man, listen, we talk about, you know, passion to play the game, passion to coach. We're passionate about what we do with broadcasting. Referees are passionate about what they do now. I mean, they care about the job. I mean, I've been fortunate to meet some folks who've become referees, and it's been their dream since like they were 11 years old kind of thing, you know? And so you can see the passion there and the want to be on the field to ref this football game.
We will bring you updates if we are able to get information. So the rotation here is that the center judge will move to back judge, and that this crew will be down an official for the rest of the night.
Typically, you'll have a substitute referee readily available, but unfortunate not to be able to have one in tonight's ball game.
And once you go down an official, you can see them.
They're huddling up. They're kind of discussing now what the plan is moving forward, how they're going to navigate being down, one referee.
And when you lose an official, you have to cover, the others have to cover a little more ground.
Right.
And a little more space. So here we go. 13-0, Boise State on top. If you're just joining us, Ashton JEANTY has had, on paper, a pretty good night. 109 yards on 14 carries. And that's almost 8 yards a carry. But Hawaii, for the most part, has contained him outside of that 54-yard run.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it, the other, they've held him to 4.23 yards per carry. You take away that one big touchdown run, 54 yards, he's had 13 carries then for 55 yards. And so, still a good average yards per carry wise, but overall, compared to what he usually rushes for, Hawaii has done a good job.
The Broncos have had to settle for 2 field goals in the red zone. End over end kick. Tylen Hines. That is 3. And the Broncos, good special teams coverage. And Hines, running parallel, ends up getting hit and stopped down around the 5-yard line. That's like we'll see where they mark it. They're going to mark it like at the 6. That's a 3-yard kickoff return.
It's always tough to have, catch the football on the right side of the field and then have a left return on. But this is on number 9, the off returner. You got to get that block right there to be able to give Hines an opportunity. But, credit number 20 that time, that's Devon Banks, being able to fight off the off returner, Cam Barfield, and force a short return.
And here's Shager now. And you can see he's trying to keep his composure. He's had some really nice throws dropped. Remember that great run he had came back because of a hold by one of his receivers. This ball sitting at the 9, so they gave him a little more yardage on that return. And Shager's throw, and there's Nick Senecal. And that's a positive play, a 9-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 1.
Yeah, these receivers really have a lot of freedom with their routes. They can recognize zone and stop when they need to, recognize man and break off. That was a really nice read that time by Nick Senecal, recognizing the defender outside and finding some space.
Blitz comes. And Barfield trying to pick up the first down. He's not going to get it. Jaden Virgin Morgan, the edge. Not the guitarist, but the defensive end, so to speak. That's kind of a hybrid linebacker D end who rushes. Sophomore, he's out of San Diego. He's a good one. That's always been such an important piece of a Bronco defense. They lead the nation in sacks. They have 22 of them, including one tonight.
Yeah, I think in this third down situation, ball's got to be in Shager's hands, no doubt. I think he's going to look for Ashlock here, but he may run the football. Nobody's open, use his legs.
So on 3rd and 1, they're going to throw it, and Shager's throw, into a crowd, and a big hit separates the ball. Andrew Tubner with the hit, and that was Pofele Ashlock who lost the ball. The sideline of Hawaii wasn't quite happy. They may be looking for a targeting here. Let's take a look.
I thought they were going to throw a flag here. He clearly launches right there. And that definitely should be there. That's a missed call.
Well, it is reviewable for that very reason. If you are a defenseless player, any contact to the head, whether it's shoulder or helmet or arm or hand or fist or whatever, can be targeted. In this case, and we'll watch it again, it looked like it almost looked like he was trying to get the shoulder to lead with the shoulder.
He was.
But the helmet arrived first.
Exactly. He was trying to get his shoulder into it, it looked like, for me. But the helmet got there first.
That's a launch.
But also, you're still in the head and neck area regardless. You have to be able to get down into the target zone, which is shoulder pad down to the knee.
That's a pretty clear view right there of the contact.
I mean, Tubner, one of the leaders of this football team, no doubt about it. He's a physical player, but has to be able to.
After review, there's targeting on the play. Number 34 of the defense has been disqualified. It'll be a 15-yard penalty in the previous spot. Automatic first down.
I think you have contact to the head for a defenseless player, and you have a launch, which adds up to targeting.
Yeah, see, he launched upwards when he was trying to defend that play that time, and I mean, it's disappointing, you know.
And Tubner doesn't come off the field for Boise State.
Ever.
I mean, he is like the rock of their defense. And so both teams now have lost key defensive players. It was Ezra Evamalo on the front line that was ejected for Hawaii for targeting, and now Tubner for Boise State.
Tubner is the green dot for the defense at Boise State. So now that responsibility is going to go to number 21, Zion Washington.
And it gives Hawaii a first down. There's 5:40 left in this first half, which has taken a while. Shager is caught, and he's going to get dropped. So the Broncos have their second sack of the night. This is Virgin Morgan and Ahmed Hassanin sharing the sack. They'll bring up second down at about 14.
Hassanin is top 10 in the nation in sacks this season. This is only his 6th year in America, Rich. Coming over from Egypt.
You're right. He didn't know any English when he arrived. His brother was a college teammate of Spencer Danielson's at Azusa Pacific. Nice little drop off to Sims, and Landon Sims has a lane up the sideline. Sims still on his feet and run out of bounds. He was a walk-on who finally got a scholarship earlier this year, and just a little dump off, kind of a delayed screen. Shager kept his composure, and Sims did the rest. That's a 50-yard gain.
So Timmy Chang comes into this football game knowing that Boise State wants to blitz, and so strategically, to be able to combat that is you run draws and you run screens. And that was a nice, clean screen play to number 30. Landon Sims was in the game plan to be able to attack this defense tonight.
Sims' father, Travis, was a record-breaking running back for Hawaii back in 1992 when they were WAC champs.
Yeah, won the Holiday Bowl that year.
On 1st and 10, Shager with time now, trying to pick his way to the outside, squares up, throws, and he's hit and dropped Hanoke was the intended receiver. He had heat on him. There is a flag down back at the line of scrimmage, not near the quarterback.
Holding on the offense, number 59. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Second down.
Kuau Peopa, the senior.
Always tough when quarterback sort of is trying to make a play, gets outside of the pocket. As an offensive lineman, as we look at the replay here, you're going to see him at the bottom of your screen right there. See, not expecting Shager, doesn't know he's going to roll to his left. I didn't really see much right there on the holding penalty, but as an offensive lineman, you're expecting your quarterback to stay in the pocket. When he releases, that's when you start to see those holding penalties.
So it's first down and a bunch. Broncos show blitz. Shager flushed, escapes, looking downfield. He'll keep it and tuck it, and is blasted as he steps out of bounds. No flags. That's right in front of the Boise State bench. You see where they mark it, just shy of the 20-yard line. That's going to be a gain of maybe 8 or 9. This looks pretty clean, and it is. He's still in the field to play.
Shager takes a lot of hits.
He does. I mean, look, this guy, and you said at the outset, you think he's got NFL potential.
No doubt.
He plays in an offense that doesn't really have a running game. And he's made some nice throws that have not been caught tonight. And he's done it under duress most of the night. We'll take a 30-second timeout as well. Hawaii on the move. 3.5 left.
Okay, trainees, let's work on our fast.
CBS Sports celebrates Hispanic and Latin pioneers of change and recognizes the history, cultures, traditions, and impact of the communities during Hispanic Heritage Month. Hawaii's on the move. 13-0. Number 17 Boise State on the road in Honolulu. Shager deep, caught, touchdown, Hines. And Hawaii and this stadium have life. 27 yards.
So Tylen Hines, I mentioned, was a former wide receiver, moved back to running back, but they still like to line him up. Line him up in the slot on the outside and allow him to run routes because he has the advantage from a matchup standpoint against linebackers. Right there, a great example. He's lined up against number 41, Bowen Phelps, who plays linebacker for the Boise State Broncos, and that's a mismatch.
Matsuzawa missed a field goal, and it was a rather short one. This one, the extra point is up and good. That was quite a drive. The targeting by Tubner kept it alive. Sims on a center screen goes 52 yards. Shager gets sacked, shakes it off, and hits Tynes for the touchdown. 6 plays, 91 yards.
You're going to see Tylen Hines right there in the slot, line up against a linebacker, just gives him a little in and out, and it's a mismatch, Rich. He beats him to the end zone, and this is the same way Hawaii got their first touchdown last week against San Diego State. Tylen Hines was in the slot on the left side. Tylen Hines was in the slot on the left side, matched up against a linebacker, one on a corner route, touchdown.
We said it about 20 minutes ago. Hawaii fortunate to be down just by 13 points with all the mistakes they've made. They had 2 red zone stops that forced field goals. And now, all of a sudden, with a long scoring drive, they're within a touchdown of number 17 Boise State. On the return.
And look at the juice now that Hawaii's playing with.
Dylan Riley with the return. And now the Broncos get it back. And here's Ashton Jeanty's night if you haven't seen it.
Well, he took the first play 15 yards for first down, and the yards after contact, see how hard it is to be able to get him on the ground. Hawaii doing a pretty decent job, but here it is right here, the game-breaking speed and ability to take it to the house from anywhere on the field. 14 carries tonight, 109 yards, averaging just 8 yards a carry, and he's got the touchdown.
You take away that 55-yard run, and that average per carry drops down around 4 or lower. And you can hear this crowd responding. They know that JEANTY's in the house. They've been talking about it all week here on the islands. And Dennis Thurman's defense right now is playing with emotion.
You know, I asked Dennis Thurman, I said, what needed to change about this defense when you became the defensive coordinator? He said, listen, historically we've been a bend-don't-break type of defense. We needed to come downhill and be more of an attacking mindset type of defense, and it's made a huge difference this season.
Yeah, and JEANTY, who gets so many yards after contact, they have put multiple hats on him throughout the night. Madsen's had a good night throwing the ball. Little crossing route here, and that's Matt Wagner, one of the tight ends. He's out across the 30. That's a nice pickup. That's the thing about Madsen. If the Broncos are forced to throw to win a game, he can do that.
And I think Hawaii is going to be happy with that. The game plan for Hawaii is, hey, let's make Madsen beat us, not Ashton JEANTY. And you give Madsen an opportunity, though, he can dice you up.
Cameron Camper's been his favorite target. He's back again, firing again. Caught there at the 42, and it's Camper to the 43-yard line, another 12 yards, the 2-minute timeout. Broncos on the move, final moments, first half, up 13-7.
Dude, this thing is awesome.
Tariq Jones, the Hawaii player, coming off the fields, was down for a while. Good to see him up. 2-minute timeout in the first half. Boise State at 13-7 lead. Busy, and great college football Saturday. That's why we've got the Verizon halftime report. It's coming up. Brent Stover, Beanie Wells, Kevin Carter, yeoman's work. This is the 4th game here on CBS Sports Network. Plenty to talk about, including Oregon's 1-point win over Ohio State, which is huge for Boise State. It's their only loss in a game where they outplayed the Ducks in Eugene and lost on a last-second field goal. This is JEANTY up and over, and JEANTY inside the 45. That's a run of about 14 yards. There's a flag down back at the 43-yard line, and this one's coming back.
It's gut-wrenching for backs right there. Get a big run and get a holding penalty. It comes back.
That's that you sound like a card
Holding.
carrying.
Offense, number 85. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still first down.
A card-carrying member of the running back union, a spokesman for the running back union, talking about that. I'm sure that happened to you a few times, both in college
and pros.
And did you ever have a touchdown called back?
Oh my!
How many?
Yeah, many. I'd probably say 7 or 8.
Really?
I mean, college and NFL together. Yeah, there's a holding penalty there by Matt Lauder. Typically a great blocker for this football team in the run.
First and 20, shotgun. Madsen fires, sideline. It's a good throw there. Lauder, the tight end, sure hands. I believe that's his 3rd catch of the night. In the Bronco wide receiver room, you've got injuries still, right? Caples has been banged up. He missed last year, and he's still maybe not at 100%. And it's Camper who has kind of really emerged as the target and the go-to guy. And Lauder has as well. Those are the 2 guys that Madsen has really leaned on this year. Little flip. There's JEANTY with a catch. They get him in space. And JEANTY out across the 45, out to the 47. Malachi Finau makes the stop. It's 3rd down and about 8.
And you mentioned Cameron Camper there right before that play. I mean, he's leading the team in receptions for a reason. And another good example of JEANTY right there. First guy can't make the tackle. He's the best at making guys miss.
Broncos have all 3 of their timeouts. They're going quickly here on 3rd down and about 7. There'll be time left for Hawaii if they can get a stop here. Madsen straight back, fires short, and it's incomplete. And that does 2 things. Number one, it doesn't get the first down, and the incompletion stops the clock for Hawaii, who has 2 timeouts left.
Well, Maddox is going to want that one back. He just didn't have enough on the football that time right there. And, you know, it's interesting because we talked to Dirk Cutter about Madsen. You know, what does he do well? What are the things he wants to improve on? He says sometimes, you know, he aims it a little bit where his accuracy can be a little bit off, and that was an example of it, I thought, right there.
James Ferguson Reynolds, the regular punter, is out tonight. Taryn Shive is punting, and that is going to hop over Hines. And if Hawaii wants to do something with this ball, they got a ways to go. And football will be sitting around the 13 or the 14-yard line. 55 seconds for the run and shoot of Timmy Chang. But 2 timeouts, and of course on that last drive they went 91 yards on 6 plays. And a big play that isn't reflected there was the Andrew Tubner targeting hit, which ejected Tubner and gave them a first down on that drive. And Shager's numbers, those numbers should be 12 of 13, right, for about 170, 180 yards, because his first 3 throws of the night were on target and dropped.
And that third throw could have been a catch and run for a touchdown.
That's a good point. Landon Sims in the backfield. He had the screen pass. Shager has time, runs out of it, and is caught and dropped. And the best pass rush in the country gets to the Hawaii quarterback, Brandon Shager. A loss of 8. Jaden Virgin Morgan with the sack, and the 3rd sack for the Broncos. Now Boise State calls the timeout. This is almost a coverage sack.
Shager not able to find anybody down the field. And then Jaden Virgin Morgan gets into the backfield for the sack. That's his 3rd on the night.
Yeah, well, he's got all 3 of Boise's sacks tonight. They continue to lead the country at 24. They had 4 sacks at Oregon, who up until today, and I haven't seen the box score of the Ohio State game, but from that opening game against Boise State, Oregon did not give up a sack coming into the Ohio State game, and Boise State got them 4 times. So now the Broncos are going to try to use their timeouts to get the ball back. 40 seconds left. 2 timeouts left for Boise and 2 for Hawaii. Shager's in his end zone, got to be careful, and he barely gets out and is swallowed up at the 4-yard line. And this is getting worse and worse for Hawaii. What looked like a nice defensive stand. And time enough to do something with the football. And now the Broncos have sacked the quarterback twice. And Boise State, if they can get the ball back here, could get themselves in field goal position with about 33 seconds left.
And the unique thing here for Boise State's defense, known for bringing, you know, pressure and blitz packages, they're getting a Shager right now with their front 4. So this Hawaii offensive line now getting beat with just games by the front 4. You're seeing the defensive end loop inside and the inside defensive tackle go to the outside, and that's how they're winning right now. This Hawaii offensive line's got to sharpen up.
Do you see Hawaii even throwing the ball in this situation?
They're going to throw the football in this situation, yeah.
Shager in his end zone. They're going to throw it short, and that throw is short, literally and figuratively. Jonah Pinoque, the intended receiver, that saves a timeout for Boise State. Boise State was down to 1 timeout. If they run that ball and get 2 yards, the Broncos have to burn the timeout. But since it's incomplete, they keep the timeout, and with 30 seconds left, they're probably going to get this ball inside Hawaii territory.
You would have liked to see Hawaii run that football and force then Boise State to use their last timeout.
Yeah, that's why I was asking. I'm a bit surprised they did throw it. Boro's kick is a low liner. Let's see where it lands and where it rolls. Oh, and it goes by Cooper Jones and goes all the way down deep into Boise State territory.
Coop's got to field that.
Yeah, the importance of at least making a catch or at least fielding the ball underscored there.
This was almost a blocked punt.
That's a 70-yard kick.
An incredible block in the end zone to avoid the blocked punt and then to get the roll to make it a 70-yard punt. He's got to field that one. It bounced right to him. But if you don't feel confident, you got to let the football go. Yep. That's the coaching point for a returner. If you don't feel confident about the football, better to play it safe than sorry right there.
You're right. I mean, if you kick the ground ball, it's not just E6. It's possibility that Hawaii gets the football. So this was a long and winding road of a first half. Number 17, Boise State, and Ashton Jeanty, who ran for over 100 yards, looked like they were going to blow the doors off. Hawaii made a slew of mistakes and then had a 91-yard drive for a touchdown. And Hawaii right now is down 6 in the Mountain West, and the number 17 team in the country, the Boise State Broncos. Verizon halftime.
It leads to an Hawaii touchdown by Tylan Hines, and really been the story of the game so far.
All right, here's the stats. You see Boise State on third down was just 4 of 8. They had to kick a couple of field goals in the red zone, and a 13-7 lead. Ashton Jeanty's update, 110 yards, 15 carries. He had a 55-yard run, so you remove that from the equation. And in talking to some of the Boise State folks at halftime, they say this is the best run defense anyone's played against Jeanty this year.
This is also the least amount of points Boise State has scored at half.
And Riley, and a flag comes down. Riley goes down hard at the 15-yard line. There's 2 flags at the 11-yard line. DeLeon Freeman, along with Keleinahe Mediola Jensen, made the stop.
Boy, he was flying.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Return team number 14. Currently has half of the Super Bowl in first down.
Well, it's a huge call because it backs Boise State up to the 5-yard line. That's where they're going to start. And you would think now, with their backs to the end zone, it's going to be a lot of Ashton Jeanty.
That block in the back there just flashed. That's Kaonohi Kaniho, actually a Hawaii native.
Yeah, Kaniho, he and his brother, Kekala Kaniho, a terrific player for the Broncos. Jeanty in the backfield now, 1st and 10, just outside the 5. And Jeanty over the left side, and that's right there is a great example of how Dennis Thurman's defense has done tonight. First guy gets a hat on him, and he's not getting away because there's 2 others that arrive on the scene. He's the best in the country at yards after contact, and that's not showing up tonight.
The defense that Dennis Thurman is running right now, he calls it a switch 4, which, you know, essentially leaves 8 or 9 guys in the box on any given play, and it's really helped them being able to be good against the run this season.
Jeanty again is stuffed. Jemai Otis was in the middle, but there were a few other Rainbow Warriors in on that stop. Wyndon Hohohuli, Deion Washington. And this is going to be 3rd down. And if the plan was make Maddox Madsen beat them, this feels like a Maddox Madsen down on 3rd down and about 6.
Boise State trying to switch up their scheme a little bit by pulling the guard and the tackle from the left side to the right to create some extra blockers, but Hawaii defense stands out.
He'll throw it with time, steps into it, fires short and incomplete. Camper, the intended receiver, the leading receiver for Boise State in that first half. Camper had 5 catches for 87 yards. And how about a 3-and-out for this defense?
I mean, an awesome way to start this half if you're Hawaii, building on the momentum that you really set in the first half defensively as far as staying in the game and being good against the run. That's really the 2nd time Madsen has missed low in this football game on a 3rd down.
Terrence Shive, that's a booming punt. That's a bomb of a punt. That's a punt that lands like at the 25-yard line. There's no flag. There is a flag back there. They may have hit the punter, and they did. The flag is down right at the goal line.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker. Number 32 of the defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic First down.
The first half and the first quarter in particular was filled with Hawaii mistakes just like this. Your defense goes 3 and out. You're going to get the football back, and this happens.
You got a block called to try to put some pressure on the punter, but you got to be smart in that situation. If you're Solomon there, stay off the punter if you're not going to be able to get the block. It's as simple as that. And you turn a 3 and out where your defense now and Hawaii has so much momentum, so much advantage, and you give a high-powered scoring team the ball right back.
And the football's out to the 26-yard line, and JEANTY and Maddox Madsen and the rest of the Broncos back in business. Madsen to throw. Lots of time. He's a good scrambler. And he races to the sideline untouched. He's going to pick up maybe 3 yards. Madsen, we asked his offensive coordinator, Dirk Cutter, to describe him. And he said he's a winner. He's not flashy, doesn't have the height, doesn't have maybe the big arm, doesn't do a lot of things that a lot of eye-catching quarterbacks do. He just does everything right, and he's a winner. Second down, play action. Quick throw, and it's short, and it's incomplete. And it was intended for Latrell Caples. And so this will be third down and about 7.
You know, it's interesting, Rich, because you use the example of Madsen being like a point guard, 10 points, 10 dimes.
Right.
No turnovers.
No turnovers.
Right. Just dishing the ball to guys and taking what the defenses gives them. And Dirk really agreed with that analogy.
Yeah, and when that guy comes out of the game, nothing goes right. Lots of things go right with him in the game. Madsen throwing on the run, and it's almost picked, and it's deflected and caught. I don't know if it's a first down, though. Let's see where they mark the football. JEANTY made the catch. It was deflected and almost picked by Palmer. And this is going to be fourth down and less than a yard at the 35-yard line. What a crazy play this is. And it's not a first down, and Boise State looks like they're going to go for it here.
So it looks like Elijah Palmer is going to intercept this football, comes out, and JEANTY ends up catching it. He's going to get the ball right here as well.
You would think on fourth and less than a yard, they're going to throw the ball, and it's caught, and that's a first down. Prince Strawn, how about that? They throw the ball on fourth and less than a yard, and a little inside look to Strawn, who makes his first catch of the night.
That's a lot of trust in your quarterback right there in that situation. I'm really shocked at the fact that they didn't give the ball to the best back in the nation on a 4th and 1. Gutsy call. Nonetheless, they convert.
They'll get the ball here, and JEANTY with a gain of about 6. And again, that one home run for JEANTY, the 55-yarder, 7 touchdown runs of 50 or more, or 7 runs of more than 50 yards this year for JEANTY.
Yeah, make it 8 after that one. I mean, that's one of the assets and, positive parts about his game, right? Talk about his physicality, being able to make people miss, but very seldom do you see backs who can take it all the way to the house, and he can.
Hawaii gets him, and there's the yards after contact there. JEANTY staying on his feet. Got a push from an offensive lineman. Otis held on for the tackle, and the sticks will move, and the Broncos have a first down after another big Hawaii mistake as they hit the punter on the goal line and gave the ball back to Boise State, the #1 scoring team in the nation, the 3rd in total yardage in the nation, averaging well over 500 a game, 538. Riley's in the game in the backfield now. Caples in motion on 1st and 10, inside Hawaii territory. Madsen pumps. Madsen deep and incomplete. Camper laid out and couldn't haul it in. Not a bad throw. That would have been a terrific catch, though.
Now, I actually thought Camper didn't have to dive for that football right there. I think if he would have just kept running and accelerated, he would have been able to run under this football and catch it. See, his arms don't even have an extend right there on the dive. Perhaps he's losing his footing a little bit, but if he keeps running, I think he catches that football.
Yeah, he looked like he should have caught it on that replay. Still just 13-7. Boise State on top. Sizable favorites coming into this one. Bolt in motion. And that's Dylan Riley. And Riley's going to get inside the 45. And it's going to bring up 3rd down. JEANTY's back in the game. This is a long 3rd down and about 8.
We haven't seen a lot of blitz packages yet from Hawaii on 3rd down from Dennis Thurman, trusting then his front 4 to be able to get pressure. But don't be surprised if he mixes it up here, try to make Madsen uncomfortable.
JEANTY's in the backfield. Madsen's in the pocket, and he's hit and dropped. And Hawaii gets the sack. Elijah Robinson, 2nd sack for the Rainbow Warriors in this game. And they got a stop near the end zone, and they got a stop on the same drive out near midfield.
How about Elijah Robinson? Led the team in tackles last week and able to get up in there for the sack on this play, and the adversity that Hawaii was able to face on that drive, be able to get a stop still and give the ball back to their offense.
Shive untouched on that punt. Let's wait and watch that official top of the screen. And that's where he marks it right around the 10-yard line. We'll take a timeout. Hawaii's ball when we get Sunday, and some Boise State Broncos will be on CBS tomorrow. Jeremy McNichols. There's 4 Bronco running backs in the NFL right now. McNichols one of them, and having a nice start with those Commanders. And of course, you want to watch the Chargers just to see Scott Matlock catch a pass. He's the only defensive tackle / fullback. We've seen him here on CBS catch a couple touchdown passes. You might see him catch a pass tomorrow on CBS. Hawaii with the football now. Landon Sims in the backfield with Braden Shager at the 10. 90 yards to go. They went 91 for a touchdown. Alex Perry makes the catch. It seems like the receiving group has settled down after a shaky start.
They really have. I'm sure Timmy Chang wasn't happy about the drops early on in the game, but it's about fighting through adversity, right? It's about overcoming, some of those challenges. And Pete Carroll used to have a saying, it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. Hawaii looking to have a strong finish with this wide receiving group.
Broncos have put heat on Shager. They've hit him. They've sacked him 3 times. Steps in the pocket, fires, and that one is either knocked down or dropped. Perry again, a crossing pattern. Zion Washington in coverage. So, as we've noted, Hawaii has made some sizable mistakes in this one. A targeting penalty and a disqualification for one of their best defensive players, Ezra Evamalo. 4 drop passes, 4 sacks, my apologies, and that roughing the punter as well. But they're within 6, 13-7. 3rd and 5 and a flag, and motion. This turns into 3rd down and 10.
Ball start. Offense, number 59. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Timmy Chang told us yesterday, Robert, in the meeting, said, we're close. We are really close. The loss to UCLA at home, they had their opportunities. Could have easily won that game.
Yeah.
Same with the game last week that you saw at San Diego State. And again, here they are. They're close to the number 17 team in the country.
They constantly beat themselves, Hawaii, and they've got to get out of that.
Shager's throw towards the sideline, a tumbling catch, and it is a catch, and it's Perry, and it's a 1st down. How about that? Terrific catch on the throw from Shager. Perry, the sophomore, Port Charlotte, Florida, 13 yards.
This is about the only place you could put this football. Look how close the defender is to getting a hand on that. You want to talk about how special Braden Shager is.
We're going to look at that.
That's a throw right there.
The question is it a catch from what you've seen? Because they are reviewing it now. I mean, it looked like the arm was under the ball when he rolled over.
It looked like a catch to me at first look. I think right now this call is gonna stand, but we'll take a look at it and see. But at first glance, Rich, I thought that was a completed catch. It was a heck of a ball by Braden Shager. That's what they call in baseball, low and away.
Yes, and this is, you want to have a good frame job by the catcher here. And it looks like that arm is secure under the ball as he rolls over, and that the foot was down as he was going out.
That's a catch.
It's a heck of a catch.
It's a heck of a catch, heck of a throw.
And the call in the field holds weight, right?
Right, because if it's unclear, if it's not a clear incompletion, you can't overturn it. But to me, he gets his arm under that football, has control, which is the most important part of it. Foot in bounds, that's a catch.
2 disqualifications from the booth of targeting in this game. We told you about Eva Malo, Alexander Tubner, a great defensive back for Boise State.
You know what's interesting too?
After review, the call on the field stand will be a first down for Hawaii.
You know what's interesting, Rich, just going back to that throw and catch. I mean, Alex Perry's had a couple drops in today's football game, but Shager has still shown the trust to throw it to his receivers, regardless of how they've performed. And I think that's a great display of his leadership and the type of quarterback he is.
So 1st and 10 now, outside the 20. Landon Sims in the backfield. Shager with time, little short pass, and it's incomplete there. Now, this is the second time you've seen Shager live, and you told me, and you talked it over with Timmy Chang, you think this is a guy who projects as someone an NFL team may take a flyer on in the late rounds. Why?
Well, he's 5th in school history right now, pass yards, pass touchdowns, and completions, but it's really his toughness. He's a savvy football player. He plays the game with high IQ, and he can make plays, both with his arm and his legs.
Shager going to have to make a play with both. Then he hits his receiver. That's Senecal, who stretches out, but the gain is only about 4 yards. And this will be a 3rd down as Hawaii has moved the ball out across the 25. First touch here for them in the second half.
See, right there, I mean, just that could have easily been a sack, right? But the skill set of Shager, being able to find just a little bit of space, get the ball out, now you're in a 3rd and manageable situation.
Boise State has 4 sacks in this game. And on 3rd down and a long 5, Shager fires. That had maybe too much mustard on it, and it's incomplete. Spencer Curtis was the intended receiver, and Boise State's defense holds.
That time, tight coverage by Boise State, and so Braden Shager's trying to laser that in there. Probably should have got that ball a little bit to the outside, more towards the sideline, but number 20, Devon Banks, able to make that play, break up that pass.
There's movement, and the flags come down. If this is against Boise State, it's 4th and 5, but I think it's more than 5. I don't know that this penalty would be a first down, and the officials are talking it over yet. They don't have a culprit yet.
Offside. Defense number 4.
All right, let's see where they mark this, because I
called the reaction by the lineman.
We'll see if the 5 yards is enough.
Still 4th down.
Yeah, it's not enough for a first down. So it was actually 4th and 6. And are they going to go for it?
This is a huge call by Coach Chang right here. If they go for this football, I'd imagine this is a quarterback sneak.
Yeah, they like a tush push in this case, and Shager at 6'3", 220, and that's exactly what they do. Did they get it, though? I don't know.
If they don't get this, I mean, it is a major, major flip of momentum here, but it looks like the spot is a first down. We'll see.
I know it is the run and shoot, but in this case, it was the tush and push. And that's a first down for Hawaii. So Timmy Chang and the Rainbow Warriors on their first drive of the second half keep moving it down the field. They're at the 34-yard line now. It's their second first down on this drive.
Well, I tell you what, when you're in these games and you're playing a ranked team and you're playing against a potential Heisman Trophy winner, you got to make gutsy plays and gutsy calls like that.
Shager now flushed. He can run. Flags are down, and Shager slides. And the flags look like holding. It's back to the 33-yard line.
We'll see it again. You know, these offensive linemen, they're setting, they're passing, they're pass protecting, expecting their quarterback to be in the pocket, but
Holding. Offense, number 58. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
you just got to know when you have a quarterback like Braden Shager who can utilize his feet and make plays outside of the pocket, you've got to play with great discipline.
All right, 58 is the culprit. You can see the jersey in his hand, and I think that's where the flag came down.
That's exactly where it was. Anytime you see that jersey pull, and they're going to pull the flag out.
There's been a lot of adversity on this drive they've had to overcome, and most of it they've caused themselves. A little late blitz there, and a draw, and Hines can't get through the initial wave, and he may lose a yard. It'll be second down and 20, maybe 21 at this point. It's been a busy day in college football, and we know you've seen a lot of games here in the Mountain West. Hawaii, who's much improved from last year, is down 6 to the number 17 team, Boise State. For the most part, they haven't stopped Ashton Jeanty, but they've somewhat corralled him and controlled the explosives. Shager back, little crossing pattern, and a nice pattern there. That's Alex Perry trying to get across the 35. So they get some of that yardage back, about 12 yards. And this is going to be a 3rd down and 9, which is a lot more manageable than 3rd down and 21.
Yeah, that's a big play right there, finding Alex Perry coming across the middle, because now you put yourself in a position, you know, to get past the original line of scrimmage. Here he comes, Alex Perry across the middle. And, you know, he's a dynamic wide receiver for this football team, a guy who can stretch the field, and we got some laundry again here on the field.
So penalty marker came down as Hawaii was just at the line of scrimmage. It may be a substitution issue.
There is no foul for 12 men on the field. The player was leading the field.
There you go. And if you missed the first half, we did lose one of the officials. Gregory Rattler Jr., the back judge, collapsed and was conscious, got to his feet, left the field in an ambulance, and was taken to a nearby hospital for observation. He was stable, and we will give you a report or an update if we get them. So the officiating crew is a man down. This is 3rd down and 8. Boise shows blitz. Here they come. Shager's hit, throws. Oh, sliding catch at midfield. Ashlock, a gutsy throw, a sliding catch, and Hawaii's improbable drive continues with a 13-yard pickup.
You know, I was just thinking, we haven't really called Pofele Ashlock's name much in this football game, but if you want to know why Braden Shager's an NFL quarterback, this is why. He's standing in the pocket, knows he's going to get hit, and still delivers the football for a 1st down.
Ball's at the 49 of Hawaii now. Shager, this time with time. Man open, hits him, caught there. That's Senecal, and that's a 1st down. Another 11-yard gain. Hawaii is down 6, moving the football midway through the 3rd quarter against Boise State.
You know, Shager's a streaky player. You know, it's like it's like in basketball. A guy, you know, get a couple threes, and now all of a sudden I can't miss. Shager's very similar in that nature at quarterback. Gets a couple completions, the ball gets moving down the field, and now he starts to dice you up there from the pocket.
Shager again, stands in, finds a man, Hanoke with a short toss and catch, 34-yard line. That's a gain of 6.
really nice by Pinoque because coaching point, when he hit a catch across the middle like that, the coaching point is to catch the football and get vertical. A lot of times skilled players like to try to make a move, try to find some space on the outside, but when you get vertical, that's when you can take advantage of the yards that time, and that was a good play there by Jonah Pinoque.
The run and shoot. 2nd and 3. 33-yard line. Broncos show blitz. Here they come. He senses it. Shager can't escape, though, and goes down to avoid a hit. And that's another sack. That's 5 sacks. This time, Andrew Simpson. The sacks come from everywhere on this Boise defense.
It really does, and they really emphasize team, right? They're not really concerned about individuals or individual stats. We talked to Coach Danielson about the team philosophy. He says, look, no egos, all team focus, and having love for your teammates equals team success, and that's why this team has been so successful.
This is a crazy drive. 13 plays, but just 57 yards. 4-man rush. Shager on 3rd down and 7. Fires, deflected, and incomplete. Now this would be a really ambitious field goal for the relatively inexperienced Kansel Matsuzawa.
This is a really dangerous throw. He's rolling to his right there, but then tries to come across the field there. That's really, coaching point number 1 for quarterbacks not to do.
And they're going to go for it on 4th down rather than attempt a 55, 54-yard field goal.
You're in plus territory. If you don't trust your field goal kicker in this situation, you have confidence in your offense. These wide receivers have been making plays. You got a playmaker at your quarterback. I think this is a good decision to go for it here in this situation, especially if you don't trust your kicker.
Or you call a timeout and talk it over. And the play clock was running down,
There is no foul for delayed game. Timeout, Hawaii.
We'll take a break. Huge play coming up. 4th and 7. Hawaii looks like they are going for it. We'll find out. Robert Turbin, what do you think?
Well, Pofele Ashlock has been Braden Shager's favorite target all season long. I'm looking for him on this play. They usually execute in 3rd and 4th down situations. But Alex Perry, number 0, he's got the hot hand on this drive. Don't be shocked if he looks for him on this play as well.
You bring heat if you're Boise State, more than 4 rushers?
You've had success with your 4th down. I'd bring a little pressure here.
Flag, and it's procedure against Hawaii.
False start. Offense, number 0, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
And I would think now Hawaii's going to punt the football.
They've got to punt it in this situation now. Shager wants to go for it. Shager's like, man, listen, let's go for it. I still want to go for it. And you're going to see a little flinch there by Alex Perry. Got a little antsy. And Shager's not happy about this punt, but it is the right decision to punt this football in this situation.
Broncos are looking for a fake here. You can see how they're aligned. And Borrow is going to end over end it. Cooper Jones for a catch called for, and it's inside the 10 at about the 8-yard line.
Timeout on the field.
So it was a long drive. They don't get any points out of it. Broncos backed up. It's still a 6 back in Honolulu. Ashton Jeanty over 100 yards, but it hasn't been his normal night.
Hasn't been the cleanest game, so you have to credit Hawaii's defense for being able to somewhat contain Ashton Jeanty, but make no mistake about it, he's still making the plays. As you can see right here, boom, taking it to the outside, stiff-arming the defender, and then taking it to the house. 19 carries, 126 yards, averaging 6.6 yards per carry, and he's got the touchdown.
Well, you can see his rushing yards per game this season. His biggest nights against 2 really good opponents, right? Obviously, Oregon, he went for 192, and he ripped Washington State for 259.
And keep in mind, 2 of those games, he didn't even play in the second half.
Yes. All right, Boise State now trying to move the football out of their own end. And Latrell Caples with the catch, and Caples is out to the 17-yard line.
So you get the feel now, Boise State, it's a 1-score game, and because they haven't really gotten the run game going to their standard, you're starting to see Dirk Cutter, offensive coordinator, sort of put the ball in Maddox Madsen's hands a little bit more here.
As you saw, that was actually Cameron Camper climbing out with that football. This is JEANTY dancing through the line, and JEANTY bursting through, and he spills out across the 30-yard line. And so a nice 13-yard carry there by JEANTY, the nation's leader in rushing yards by a mile.
I just love how he takes his time. He's never in a rush. He almost has that Le'Veon Bell feel where he just kind of skips and dances a little bit at the line of scrimmage, and then boom, hits that accelerator button and gets downhill.
Henry in motion, JEANTY again. There were some that kind of said going into this game, boy, it'd be nice if we could see Ashton JEANTY stick around maybe for 3 quarters tonight.
Time out on the field for an injured player.
Well, look, the game is tight. You're going to see him all night. And that's not a good sign there. Coming off the field is Jalen Smith. It's been a tough night. Remember, they lost Peter Manuma, one of their defensive leaders. Erza Evamala was also disqualified. And now Smith is banged up. Angry, intense. And they really have taken on his personality. Such a highly decorated career in college football, in professional football as a player, and then as an assistant coach and a defensive coordinator in both. And look at it home, Hawaii doesn't give out points very easily.
It's interesting, too, because usually when you think about Hawaii, you think about a high-powered offense. But Dennis Thurman has sort of come in and changed the identity a little bit of this football team, you know, saying, hey, we're going to play great defense as well.
He is one of the funner coordinators to talk with. And we get a chance to sit down with offensive, defensive coordinators of every team. And this is my second Hawaii game, and I can't wait for the third just to talk to him. JEANTY now. JEANTY breaks a tackle, breaks another. Midfield JEANTY, caught from behind, spun down at the 35. Ashton JEANTY gets loose. Finau makes the stop, 28 more yards.
He just does what's needed in the moment. Sometimes he's patient and he's skipping at the line of scrimmage, trying to find a crease, and other times he sees it right away and he's gone. That was an example right there where he just saw it right now, broke a few tackles, got down the field for a huge first down.
.173 yards, play action. Madsen fires it incomplete. Back to JEANTY. I was listening to Nick Saban talk about him and go over film, and he said what impressed him the most is his balance on point of contact. When he gets hit, he's balanced, he stays balanced, and that's why he's run for almost 700 yards after contact this year. 3 in the books, on to the 4th. Hawaii is hanging in against number 17. Oh, look at this scene, huh? 13-7, Boise State. Our production meeting last night was right down there where the fire twirling is going on. We didn't get a whole lot done. Heisman Trophy candidates, that's one thing we did accomplish. And a shout out to Mililani High School's Dylan Gabriel, who's on the list. A great Hawaiian quarterback in a long line. But JEANTY's on that list. Travis Hunter got banged up today. This is JEANTY trying to bounce outside. Your thoughts on that quartet that you've got up there?
Man, I mean, it's 4 extraordinary players on that list. You know, we're witnessing one tonight. JEANTY having another fantastic game. Travis Hunter got a little bit banged up, man, but he's one of the most special players playing both sides of the football that we've ever seen. And then, of course, the 2 quarterbacks, Cam Ward with the comeback victory against Cal last week, and Dylan Gabriel getting it done today.
Big 3rd down. Boise State on the move. 31-yard line of Hawaii. Madsen. Play action. Fires. Caught there. That's Camper again. Upended. And he lands right at the 14. Slow to get up. They mark it at the 15. That's 16 yards on the catch. Madsen pulled it and threw a dart.
All 3 players a little shaken up on that play. And you know, obviously, as a safety, you don't want to go high with the receiver coming across the middle, so you're going to go low. But you know, either way, it's, you know, it can be dangerous. especially for a wide receiver that time. And
looked like Jaheim Wilson-Jones got caught at the knee.
looking at that right knee right now for Cameron Camper.
Jones went tumbling, and of course Camper at the same time was down and his right knee being looked at.
He's had an excellent game tonight too, Rich.
He is. I mean, look, it's not, I mean, transfer portal, everyone talks about it, but for a guy to transfer in and right away be accepted by everybody, fit right in with the culture, he's a blue-collar wide receiver, and he's just having a terrific year. He's averaging over 18 yards per catch.
Yeah.
And tonight, Camper with 7 catches for 112 yards.
You know, the interesting thing about him too, Camper, is, you know, we look at the catches and yards, but he's a great run blocker as well.
Verizon red zone. Remember, the Broncos have had to settle for 2 field goals in 2 trips. Tyler Crow's in the ball game, along with JEANTY in the backfield. And Crow with the lead block for JEANTY, and he's not going anywhere on that. Wait a minute, hold on. Look at that. I mean, it was like he was stopped, his feet kept moving, and then all of a sudden, he somehow gains 4 yards, almost 5 on the carry.
There's just nothing you can do about that, Rich. You think you've got him bottled up here for no gain, and all of a sudden he's just spinning around and pushing guys off of him, and all of a sudden he's down the field 5 yards later.
JEANTY left side this time, and again the feet keep moving. JEANTY down to the 6. He's a yard shy of the first down. He is a wonderful kid to talk to as well. I mean, just really fun to listen to him. A lot of the interviews that he's done this year. He's such a team player. Every day he asks Spencer Danielson if he can be on the kickoff return team.
Yeah.
And then when he gets a no from Spencer Danielson, he goes to Stacy Collins, the special team coach, and he asks him. It's like when Dad says no, you go ask Mom.
He's just trying to do anything possible to help this team win football games. It helps when your most special player is also the most selfless player.
They're down a long yard, and inside the 5, it looks like he's got it. Ball's loose, but it's loose late. It's recovered, and the officials, there's been no whistle, and I think this is going to go to Hawaii.
No way.
But certainly it will be reviewed. Justin Sinclair with the recovery. It was a late fumble, and the question is, with JEANTY, and he keeps the play alive a long time, was he down?
I thought that his forward momentum was stopped, and the play was over. That's what it looked like to me, but how about Hawaii not giving up on the play? Here he is. He's fighting. Now, it just depends on if he lands on the defender or if he's on the ground right there. And let's see if we can look at it. Jemai Otis, if JEANTY lands on Otis there, he's still up, and that would be a fumble.
And the original call holds enormous amount of weight as they try to either confirm the call or overturn the call. Oh, the reach.
Well, it looked like to me his left hip was on the ground. And mind you, JEANTY never fumbled. He has no fumbles this season.
Agree on the hip. However, you lose sight of the ball in that situation, so you're not sure when it comes out. And the question is going to be, is there enough evidence to overturn this?
So he turns, and that left hip is down. I think he's down, Rich.
I think so, and that's the best view that we've seen.
I think he's just down. I think he's just down.
This is an enormous review. And it's collaborative review with this crew, the replay officials in the booth, and the control room in Pittsburgh.
And it has to be obvious for them to overturn it. This is the best view I think we have right here, Rich. Left hip, and I think he's down.
Are you 100?
Down.
Yeah, but I think doesn't get it overturned. It has to be 100%, right?
It does have to be 100%, but right there, he's got control of the football. To me, he's still got control. You can see the ball in his arm. It doesn't look like it's coming loose until now.
Oh, that's close.
Until now.
So I'm glad I'm not a replay official.
But it's interesting. Dennis Thurman, this defense, they fought through so much adversity in this game. And the one thing Dennis Thurman wanted to see better from this defense was, look, we've done some good things. We still haven't taken the football away. He mentioned that to us in our meetings. An opportunity right now for their first takeaway of the game.
And here's the thing, too. You know, officials on plays like this at both levels, NFL and college, are taught now to wait a little bit before blowing the whistle because of that fumble.
Yeah.
But what that does is it affects the original call. And if the original call holds weight, it's been affected a little bit by them waiting on making the call on that, which leaves it up to review.
Yeah, so there's pros and cons to it, you know, because as a runner, I can tell you, we don't want that whistle being blown too early because, hey, we might be able to spring out of that pile and take it to the house.
Or if it's a fumble or no fumble, someone might pick it up and then take it the other way. And oftentimes that's been blown dead, but then overturned and given the football, but you lose the touchdown.
You lose the touchdown, exactly. So you know, there's pros and cons there to waiting. But I think you know, being patient is likely the best approach. A little trash talking going on between Hawaii and Boise State right now on the field. Referees having to get players to get back to their sidelines.
Yeah, there was a moment about 15 seconds ago where there was, I would guess, about 30 Hawaii players out near midfield, and Boise State had a large number out there, and they were jawing at each other.
Listen, I got to be honest. I mean, we're all competitors. I love it. But if you're Hawaii, you want to be careful about awakening the beast of what Boise State can be. First of all, if they keep this football, they're inside the 10-yard line. Okay, and with a fourth down coming up, all right, which they've converted a few times in this football game, and so advantage right now is on Boise's side still in this situation to even make it go up 16-7 in this situation, make it a two-score game.
The call on the field was fumble. JEANTY's hip down there.
I think he's down. I think he's got the ball.
You see the ball, you think it's secure?
I think it's secure until he brings it down. Once he brings it down, that's when the ball comes loose. To me, I think he's down. The defense is coming back onto the field for Hawaii.
After review, the runners behind was down prior to the ball coming loose. It'll be first down for Boise State at the 5-yard line.
Two things there. That was an incredibly difficult one to officiate. The other thing was, I like the fact that he used the word, the runners behind. Right? I mean, it's accurate.
It is accurate.
It's a nice way to say it.
Well, a lot of trash talking going on, right? So here it is. New set of downs for Boise State. What do you got, Hawaii, right now? 5-yard line. As running backs, Ashton JEANTY, I'm telling you, smelling the end zone. And it smells good.
First and goal for the 5. Madsen. JEANTY. Touchdown. Why not throw it to him?
So Elijah Robinson's coming off the edge. He's got to get contact on Ashton JEANTY right here on this play to disrupt the timing. We call this play roll right. You're acting like it's going to be a handoff to the outside to your running back, but instead he leaks out into the flat. Here it is. Elijah Robinson's got to get a piece on Ashton JEANTY to help Jemai Otis, who's in man coverage right there.
Broncos are going to go for 2 here to try to get to 21-7. And so a 2-point conversion. JEANTY's still in there.
You know he's not coming off. He doesn't even get in a stance when he lines up in the backfield. He just stands there.
Capel's in motion. Madsen fires. And it's caught. And that's Bolt. And that's a 2-point conversion. There looked like some movement, but there was no flag. Ashton Jeanty's up to 188 yards, 26 carries, and oh yeah, a couple receptions. This one for a touchdown. Best pass rush in the country and 4 more sacks for Boise State.
This defense has been all over the backfield for Hawaii in tonight's football game, and they've been spectacular all season long, led by Jaden Virgin Morgan, number 5 defensive end. He's got 3 of them tonight. And they're gonna look to continue to apply some pressure.
Jared Reeser with the kick. Hines with a fair catch, and he makes it at the 13-yard line. So Boise State ate up some good clock there. Ashton Jeanty, part of a 11-play, 91-yard, 5-minute drive, and he catches a 5-yard touchdown coming out of the backfield. Jeanty in this one is run for 188 on 26 carries. And obviously Hawaii needs points. Braden Shager back out on the field. Shager 16 of 25, 213 yards, had some drops early. A touchdown and no interceptions. Broncos show blitz, and here they come. Shager stands into it and fires, and it's incomplete. That ball looked like it was on the money, but a terrific play. Nishigaya was the intended receiver. And it was Rodney Robinson on the coverage, but a flag comes down late on that. Whether it's on Robinson or someone else, we'll find out.
Holding on the defense, number 4. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
So Rodney Robinson, actually, pretty cool story. He's got great ball hawking skills, but originally recruited by Hawaii, and chose to go to Boise State.
So that's a clean play there.
That's a clean play, yeah.
But the hold apparently happened from
on the route.
Yeah.
On the break inside, but he actually lost his job to Benefield, but has stayed in it.
This is Sims, who had the big catch and run that set up Hawaii early in the game.
So the important thing for Hawaii on this drive is, first of all, they've got to have a clean operation. The false starts, the holding penalties, they've got to get rid of that. And then from a physical standpoint, when the plays are there, they got to make them. Okay, so the drop passes they've got to eliminate here on this drive to get back in this football game.
On second down, Shager trying to scramble, and he's caught. That's going to go as another sack. And guess who? Jaden Virgin Morgan, one of the guys that brought him down, along with Michael Callahan.
They haven't really been able to block this kid all night. He's been disruptive, and it's really the same pressure where he starts on the outside and then he loops to the inside and just creates a mismatch on the guard. And he's been able to win most of the time. Ashlock's been pretty quiet here in this second half. See if you can find him here on this critical third down.
Broncos bring everybody. Shager rolling, firing, and it's caught, and that's a first down. And that's Perry. The tall, lanky receiver is into Bronco territory. Amarian McCoy with the stop, 15 yards. 2
really great things happen on this play. Landon Sims is going to recognize blitz coming from the backside. He goes over there. Shager recognizes the blitz coming from his blind side as well, so he creates time for himself by rolling to the right, being patient, and finding a target for a first down.
Sims on the carry, and Sims has got a nice gain. He's down to the 40-yard line. It's almost an 8-yard pickup.
Sims is like the perfect type of runner for this offense. He doesn't do anything quite special, but he does everything right. He gets downhill, he's physical, he can break tackles, and it provides a nice balance when you need it.
And as you pointed out, he's a terrific pass blocker, which is key in the run and shoot, that your running back's able to pick up a blitz and help an offensive lineman out. Shager running out of time, flushed, and he's going to throw on the run, and it's caught there. That's Senecal with the catch. And wait a minute, did it come out? The Broncos say they have it. The official is late. Remember, the officials are down a referee, and two of them confer right now. And the Broncos have this football. Che Oladipo on the ball. I think it was Robinson that pried it loose. Here's a look.
So Senecal catches the football. There's a rip down at it. That's an incomplete pass.
That's a good call, because we're thinking, is it a fumble or not? And you're saying it could be an incomplete pass.
I thought maybe he ripped it and like held on to it like an interception, but that ball hits the ground, and Senecal didn't have any. He had no time to really make a football move right there. That's incomplete.
When's the last time you made a football move? Right?
Well, my trainer's actually here at the game today, and so at least once a week I'm on the ladder or the cones or something like that. So
that's a football move.
I'm making a couple football moves at least once a week. Trying to keep up with you, Rich.
There you go.
Shout out to Darren Jackson.
So, I mean, that's a look at it. If we could see that again, and we'll see it from this angle. Catch, step, strip.
It's close, but I still believe that is an incomplete pass in this situation. You get the catch. It's really only one step that he's able to take. He's not able to get up the field at all. They're fighting really for possession in that situation right there. I think it's incomplete.
So to think of that another way, if he were to catch the ball, not get hit, take a step, and then lose it, then it would be, you'd probably say, oh yeah, that is an incompletion. Here, he was stripped of it. And the officials have another difficult one to officiate both on the field and through replay on a night where they are down an official.
After review, it is an incomplete pass. It'll be third down from the 41-yard line.
Look at the running back coming through in the clutch, interpreting the call right away.
I feel like maybe I should go down to the field, put on a striped shirt, and be the substitute back judge for the game.
I don't think they have a shirt that will fit you. I'm surprised that Tommy Bahama did, but they found one that fit your biceps.
Rich, you took us to Tommy Bahama yesterday. Thank you for that. If they have a shirt that fits me, I'm sure the referees do too.
They're down at 3. Shager now rolling out, and a nice block by Sims, and Shager dives. Let's see if he's got the first down. We'll see where the spot is. Jake Ripp was on the scene.
They got to go for it. No, there's no doubt about it. Fourth quarter, you're down 2 scores, 14 points, just over 9 minutes left in the football game. You're going for it in this situation no matter what.
Scotty report says tush push.
Oh yeah,
to the line quickly.
Worked once, will it work again?
Oh, flags are everywhere.
Looked like offsides to me on the defense.
That would be a first down. That is the closest thing to a rugby scrum as you'll see. Timmy Chang says it's against Boise State.
I got asked to play rugby once.
How'd it go?
Professionally, I didn't. It didn't go. It didn't go.
Smart.
I like pads, and we put the pads on.
Offside. Defense number 90. 5-yard penalty. Result in a first down.
So that's a first down. Enter Danielson and Boise State on the islands. Tight game here. Now a 21-7 lead. But Hawaii has answered with a nice drive. Still not in the red zone yet, but sitting at the 34-yard line of the Broncos.
You know, you mentioned Coach Danielson, head coach for Boise State. He knew this was going to be a tough game. We talked to him and says, listen, this is not going to be an easy game for us. It's hard to play in Hawaii.
Chager fires sideline. Caught there, and that's Senecal. He's got the first down, and the sticks move, and this impressive Hawaii drive continues. Yeah, because he's seen on film what we've seen. And you saw with your own eyes last week against San Diego State, and I saw against UCLA. This is a much improved Hawaii team.
And he mentioned to his team, Fresno State, they were ranked 17th. They one loss 1 year. They come to Hawaii, they lose. Air Force, one loss, come to Hawaii, they lose in years past. So wanted to make sure his team wasn't sleeping on this matchup tonight.
There was no receiver out there, it looked like, and this could be grounding.
Well, they were trying to set up a screen pass.
And I don't think the back ever got out there, and Shager thought he was out there.
Yeah, a little bit of a miscommunication on that one.
Hawaii is backing up. No announcement yet, but this looks like intentional grounding.
Intentional grounding on the offense, number 12. Penalty is loss of down at the spot of the foul, the second down.
That's a big penalty. So he's thinking screen, but no one ended up there. His receiver vacated the area.
Yeah, the running back Landon Sims goes inside to fake the run, then he's supposed to leak back out and just wasn't able to get out there.
So a long second down. Shager scrambling left side, getting to the sideline and getting some nice yardage. And he's out of bounds. No hit. Good job by Notriani of Boise State to not hit him as he just exited the sideline. And so that's a positive play that makes this a much more manageable third down.
This is the playmaking ability that we've been talking about as it pertains to Braden Shager. Finding some space within the defense and making it into third down and manageable situation.
And probably 4-down territory because of the clock and the score at this point. Shager, blitz is coming, backing up, setting, firing, caught there at the 10, Panoke. And Hawaii with a big third down conversion. Man, Shager with guys in his face, just standing and waiting until Panoke came open.
It's the third time he's found Panoke on a crossing route across the middle, but this time Panoke recognizes that it's man coverage, and so instead of sitting down in the middle, he keeps running across. A nice throw and a nice play right there by Hawaii.
And now Hawaii, who's had their own troubles in the red zone, getting touchdowns instead of field goals.
You see Shager at the line of scrimmage chaining up the play. Timmy Chang mentioned he has the freedom to change plays.
Got to get the snap off. They do and beat the clock. 4-man rush and incomplete. Alex Perry on the sideline.
So they go for the back shoulder throw. I'd like to see Shager put that ball in the air. Alex Perry, 6'5", 195 pounds. Throw a jump ball in that situation.
Play clock down again. They just get it off. Shager scrambling, and he fires that one out of bounds.
There is no foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback was outside the pocket.
It's a quick explanation from the referee. And now it's 3rd and goal.
A lot of trash talk going on out there. Marion McCoy, number 7, the cornerback who defended that back shoulder throw against Alex Perry. Those guys have been going at it all game long, and here it is, 3rd down. Typically the playmaker's been number 5, Pofele Ashlock, but you know, Shager has really leaned on his other targets, but let's see if he can locate number 5 here.
Ashlock in the slot, top of your screen. Blitz comes, and down goes Shager. Boy, that was Oladipo, who seemed like he had a running start and timed it perfectly, streaking across the line of scrimmage and blowing that play up, and now it's 4th and goal.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. He gets to the line of scrimmage late. Therefore, Landon Sims, he's responsible for coming across the formation and blocking him, but unable to locate Oladipo there in that situation, gets there late, and he's able to get the sack.
For the 14, it's 4th and goal. And now it's going to be from the 19 as Sims moves. I mean, you need the 7, but the odds of getting the 7 are really, really reduced here. Would you settle for 3?
5-yard penalty.
I mean,
Still 4th down.
with 5:41 left, and with JEANTY on the other side, you're probably not going to get 2 more possessions. So you almost have to go here.
Have to go for it here, Rich. And if I'm Hawaii, if I'm Timmy Chang, I'm moving the pocket at the snap. Don't allow Braden Shager to just sit in the pocket because you know Boise State is going to bring pressure.
They show it. And here they come, and Shager escapes, squares, fires, end zone, and it's incomplete, out of the end zone. Panoke, the intended receiver. And Boise State holds. That was kind of Hawaii's night in a nutshell. An impressive drive into the red zone, a few mistakes, and our guys are still around. Coming up on CBS Sports Network, back to New York, back to the studio. Early morning for Brent Stover, Kevin Carter, Beanie Wells. Inside College Football is coming up here in Honolulu. Hawaii has played at times a really nice game, but mistakes. And in that case, that last possession, a long drive and into the red zone, and they come away with nothing. And JEANTY now dancing away across the 30 out to the 32-yard line. That adds 12 more yards. And a flag down late.
Personal foul, face mask, on the defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
So JEANTY is over 200 yards now with that run. 201 yards on 27
the foul
carries.
For face mask was on number 3.
These are the situations Boise State lives for. They got the lead. They got the best back. There's the face mask, his hand right there on the front of his helmet. Tacks on another 15 yards.
And this is why you had to go for it on 4th and goal from 18 yards out. Is with JEANTY in the backfield, you're not going to get 2 more possessions. You may not get another if the Broncos have their way and just run some clock here. I think Hawaii may have called a timeout on this run.
Well, they're not going to mail it in just yet. I mean, we've seen crazy games in football now. It's a 2-score game. They're down 2 touchdowns. You get a stop, perhaps you get a turnover, you get a quick strike. I mean, all the possibilities are still there for Hawaii despite all the negative plays that they've had and their inability to finish drives. So call timeout here, save as much time as possible. Perhaps you're able to force Boise State to punt here and you give yourself another chance.
JEANTY now at 205 yards on 28 carries. It's an average of just over 7 yards a carry. Has a couple touchdowns. One of those was a receiving touchdown.
Yeah, that's his first of the year.
On a 5-yard flip from Maddox Madsen. Madsen's such a efficient quarterback. He leads the Mountain West in passing efficiency. He was 21 of 25 last week. He's 16 of 24, 173 yards. He's taking care of the football. Distributed nicely. And JEANTY to the 47. That being said, JEANTY over 200 yards. Of the defenses that he has faced this year, this may be the one that's done the best job of tackling him because he's really had to earn it with his yards per carry. I mean, it sounds weird to say because he's averaging, what, 7 yards per carry? It's 4 yards off of his yearly average. He's averaging 11 yards a carry, which is so far ahead of everybody else in the country. It's silly.
You know you're great when this is the best run defense you've played against and you're still averaging 7 yards a carry.
Yeah.
So there it is, the third down stop. Calls his last timeout. Just under 4 minutes. I think you go for it right here if you're Boise. Put the nail in the coffin if you can.
I thought I saw Old Trapper down on Waikiki Beach early this morning on my walk. And maybe he's here to present the player of the game, brought to you by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. JEANTY certainly has had a terrific night by all accounts.
I mean, he's done it in all facets of the football game. Obviously running it, breaking tackles, lowering his shoulder, getting the yards after contact. He's got a receiving touchdown tonight. He's been excellent in pass protection as well, as Maddox has thrown the football quite a bit at the quarterback spot, but there's no doubt that, you know, he's the #1 running back in college football. Look at the numbers, 30 carries tonight, 210 yards. There it is, 7 yards a carry. And they're going to go for it here on 4th down. Boise State.
Or try to draw him offside.
I think they're going to run a play.
Well,
Okay, that is their first.
I still think they're going to go for it here, Rich.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, try to draw them off sides here. They call timeout. All right, let's talk about it. All right, and we couldn't get them to jump off sides. Okay, now let's just go get the first down right here. I think that's what they're going to do. I think that's what they should do in this situation as well. Go for it. You're up 2 scores.
It's a long line of great coaches that have had wild success for Spencer Danielson, right? And the winning season streak is one of the most impressive numbers that comes out from Boise State. 26 active FBS streaks. 26 straight for Boise State. Wisconsin's next, Oklahoma State, Alabama.
You mentioned, you know, all the great coaches. Chris Peterson's been one of Danielson's mentors.
That's a good point. He's really leaned on Coach Pete, as they say. Madsen back over the middle, caught there, and trying to get out. Austin Bolt is in, and a touchdown for Bolt. The defender was trying to pry the ball out from behind, and Bolt just kept chugging. And Austin Bolt, the Boise native, kind of a favorite son. A 44-yard catch and run and touchdown.
That's twice now on a 4th down that they have opted to throw the football with a gutsy call, but Austin Bolt comes through in the clutch right there, and you know, he's got an interesting story. Still got 2 years of eligibility left. He had a serious injury in the season opener last year and missed a lot of time.
So a close game now is a 3-score game just like that. Maddox Madsen, Austin Bolt. Hold on to that ball, young man.
Football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. What's your beef? By Verizon. And by Geico. Whatever you need, get more with Geico.
Ashton Jeanty has run for 210. Maddox Madsen has thrown for 217. And Boise State has cracked this one open finally, or as Etta James would say, at last. 28-7. Madsen is such a, you know, we've talked about, he's like a really good point guard, a guy who can, you know, get the ball where it's supposed to be and do it efficiently and effectively.
I mean, it takes a lot to trust your quarterback in this situation on a 4th down to do a play action and throw the football. He had pressure in his face, didn't let it impact him or affect him at all, and really threw a dime right there to Bolt, and yeah, they're able to make this a 3-score game.
Low throw, and Perry gets it. When Hawaii and Timmy Chang and his coordinators and coaching staff watch the tape of this game, what do you think they will see?
Well, they're going to see the fact that they beat themselves a lot in this game. I mean, there were opportunities to be had. It was 13-7 for a long time. Hawaii had the football, and every time they drove down the field, overcoming false starts and drop passes and holding penalties, they just couldn't finish drives.
Timmy Chang still intense. 3 minutes left. 3-score lead. Shager, that's the first Shager bomb we've seen, and it's over everyone's head. And I know it's late night in Boise. What is it, 12:30 in Boise right now? So let me explain a Shager bomb, because you might be able to buy it in Boise at this time.
Is that right?
Yes. But the Shager bomb is a deep throw by Braden Shager,
Which he does really well, by the way.
and he also has Shager bomb shirts and Shager bomb koozies and Shager bomb this and that on a website. So if you want to support Hawaii and their football program, you can do it that way. Shager pump fakes, rushes on, and he's sacked again.
You know, a lot of times at the end of games, Rich, when it's out of reach to some extent, you know, you want to try to build on some momentum, maybe heading into, you know, next week, as we look at the sack right there by number 91, Ahmad Hassanin, the leading sack, or the sack leader for Boise State and in the Mountain West.
There's 7 sacks tonight for Boise State. That's a throw down the sideline on 3rd down and 15 that's knocked out of bounds.
And really the point I was making there in regards to Shager, take a look at the bruises. I mean, he's been beat up in this football game.
Well, now
Want
look,
to pull him out. I mean, the game's over.
a couple of those are from cupping. I get you, but the rest of the arm is pretty marked up.
You just want to be careful about your marquee players, you know, in this situation, you know, when the game is out of reach like this.
4th down, 15. Hawaii trying to keep the night alive. Boise State trying to end it. Shager's brought down again. That's 8 sacks for Boise State. That's amazing. They have 29 already, and this is their 6th game. They lead the nation by far in getting to the quarterback, and Shager will walk off. And with 2 minutes left, you would think Boise State now, Hawaii out of timeouts, will run a play or two, run some clock, and load up the plane and go home.
And you know, the difference here in the second half, Rich, really, you know, Boise State defensively bringing extra defenders on the blitz, and Hawaii with no answers, no hot routes, no quick throws to be able to combat the blitz. They only ran 1 screen pass, and it was successful. Opted not to do more of that, and you can see Shager there very frustrated at tonight's outing.
JEANTY statue still in the backfield. And down he goes. 2-minute timeout. We'll take one as well. Broncos up. Number 17, Boise State. A 28-7 lead. We're under 2 minutes now left in this one in Honolulu. Chuck Pagano, who's been another guy that you know, obviously, from your time with the Colts.
Yeah.
Ashton Genty's unbelievable. If you don't have an edge on this dude, see you later. He's also been a guy that Spencer Danielson has leaned on in his really first full season as a head coach.
Yeah.
Dabo Sweeney, a guy, Matt Campbell, Brian Harsin. We told you about, obviously, Chris Peterson. And even his offensive coordinator, Dirk Cutter.
Yeah. Yeah, former head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and during his NFL days.
JEANTY now with 217 yards, and you got Dylan Riley in the backfield. This is Riley on second down. And the clock runs. Going to need a first down to the point where Boise State can kneel down. There's Spencer Danielson, their young head coach. He's only 35. He's one of the younger head coaches in college football. Third 200-yard game. And this one, you know, look, 217 yards, 31 carries. It wasn't easy. I mean, Hawaii's run defense at times was really good tonight, but their defense was called upon to clean up a lot of mistakes.
You know, what hurt this Hawaii team really is the fact that their offense really didn't give much help in this ball game. And
this is Tyler Crow trying to sniff out the end zone. And Crow, this dude has done everything from walk on. He's like a cult hero in Boise. He's full of energy, special team demon. When they need some tough yardage or somebody to pass protect or run the clock out like this, Tyler's the guy.
You know, they have this saying at Boise State, OKG, our kind of guy. That's Tyler Crow. Blue collar, lunch pail. Like to see him stay in bounds in that situation, though, to keep the clock moving.
Oh, you running backs. I think this is victory formation and a good idea for Boise State to take a knee, take the win. And for Ashton Jeanty, another terrific game.
I can't wait to see him at the next level, man.
Oh, he's going to be there.
Yeah.
First, for sure.
First things first, though. You know, Boise.
I'd like to see him in New York. Right?
New York, well, New York who?
No, New York for the Heisman Trophy.
Okay. You were talking about the Jets or the Giants.
No, I'm talking about that night where there's, you know, 4 or 5 guys wearing a sweet suit.
I agree.
And all of that. Spencer Danielson and Boise State get the win. Maddox Madsen was terrific tonight, and obviously Jeanty over 200 yards. A lot to like if you're the Broncos. You're number 17 in the country. You took care of business here. You're now 5-1 and 2-0 in the Mountain West. Boise State has a bye next week, then a huge game on the road at UNLV. And you and I